It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Spot Shooters Archery,
Easy Cut,
Packer Max,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Scent-Lok,
Scent Blocker,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Buck Baits,
Gut Check,
Stanislavski Release Aids,
Copper John,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Vapor Hunting Products,
and Rebel 6 Rubs. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal podcast. Everybody, I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight on a fresh trip back from Indiana. And I'm sitting here with Dan DeFaul. And we're going to try to connect with Ken Scicluna here later in the show. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully everything works good. But before we get started, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Hunter's Blend Coffee. Make sure you guys use the UNJ promo code, which you can see right there on the screen, and that will save you 10% on your order of Hunter's Blend Coffee at huntersblendcoffee.com. And we've got ours. Coffee good for you tonight, Dan?
Yes, very tasty.
All right, and we've also got our promo code for Rebel 6. Rebel 6 Rubs. Go over to their webpage, use the North Journal promo code, as you can see there on the screen, at rebel6rubs.com. You save 20% on your order.
Yes, for that one, it is working now.
It is working,
Yeah,
okay.
we had some issues during the week. I checked with Rob. We got it fixed. It's now working to that.
Okay, good.
There. Yep.
And the last one is Buck Baits, which we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. If you go over to buckbaits.com and use Up North Journal, you'll save 20% on your order there as well. So some of the people who help us are helping you to save some money. Got to like that.
Absolutely.
So you done over there, Dan?
I'm ready.
All right. So what's been going on, Dan?
Oh, I tell you what, a little cool, a little crisp in the air weekend.
Yes?
Kind of the sign that deer hunting's, well, we've had the Liberty Hunt and Youth Hunt this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of deer already going down.
Yeah, some nice ones we
Kids
saw.
are out there slamming. And
The veterans we saw an 11 point got
I
taken.
forgot to download the picture.
Picture of what?
Randy Duncan's boys, Nolan and Christopher, they both got their hunter safety certificate.
And they went out squirrel hunting.
They went out squirrel hunting today. It was open day of squirrel season here in Michigan. And Nolan called and Christopher shot. So they've got squirrel in the pot for tonight.
Christopher. Oh, Nolan called the squirrel. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He was the lookout and had the
Okay.
call. He was using, the little baffle you hit on the end.
Yep. When you said call, I thought he meant call you.
No.
And then Chris shot live. I'm like, wow.
No.
That's pretty good.
No. They sent me a picture of them with their game in hand, and I forgot to download it, so I apologize for that.
But here we are. It's the 15th, 2 weeks from Tuesday, October 1. Archery in Michigan will commence.
In Indiana.
And in Indiana.
And probably a few other states as well.
There's a bunch of other states. But
Yes.
we have been getting ready. You just got back from Indiana yesterday. You took a quickie trip down there.
Yep.
I was in the UP over Labor Day scouting, and Ken was down south of Michigan scouting a new lease parcel
In southern Michigan.
in southern Michigan.
So everybody is getting after it.
everybody's getting after it. We just finished up our tune-up league, so we're tuned up, right?
Yep. I'm ready to rock. And every week things get better and better and better progressively. So shooting the Evolve 28 is ready to rock for archery season.
Absolutely. I am ready. Do you want to go first, or do I want to go first?
I don't care. It doesn't matter
I
to
don't
me.
care either. Well, I was up over Labor Day, so I'll go first. How's that?
That works fine for me.
So Labor Day weekend, I went up to the cabin to build a blind, to build a stand, and I had 5 trail cameras.
Okay.
And something umpteen thousand pictures.
Okay.
But I went through them in the evenings while we were in the cabin and started looking to see, kind of taking inventory of what's going on.
Okay.
So one of the cameras I figured we got $3 that are probably going to be hit listers we would consider shooting.
Okay.
This one right here was the first one to show up. He's showing up he showed up, I think, in 2 cameras that are on the same 40. So I think I got his travel pattern exactly where he's going.
Okay, for the people that are on the podcast, explain the buck here because they can't see it.
Exactly, right. So on the podcast, it's going to be a typical UP buck, if everybody knows the UP of Michigan and how the bucks run. A nice basket 8-point. In my area, the bigger ones tend to go deep, so to speak, and we tend not to pick them up. We might catch one cruising through if we do, but they seem to go way deep into the public land or private land.
Okay.
So that way, we kind of set up parameters around camp about, maybe shooting nothing less than an 8-point, depending on where you're at. And for us older hunters, we're kind of holding out. The younger hunters, depending on where they're at, we might let them shoot an 8-point or a 6-point, but nothing less than that. And APR is anyways in the Upper Peninsula.
Okay, what's going on with this picture?
Okay, so I got to ask you about this because this is the reason I pulled this was I knew it was a buck. That's fine, but what do you think would make that on the lens or in the picture? That's what I wanted to ask you. I was like this when I was flipping through them. This one for the people on the podcast, I can't explain it. I don't know if it's a bug, a twig, or
I think it's a bug flying.
Okay,
personally,
and just the
a couple bugs that are flying in different directions, and they just happen to get caught, and that was the trigger speed or the shutter speed is the camera was open that long, and that was the flight path that it caught at that time.
Okay, I go with that. I'll go with that because I didn't know. I said I got to ask Mike.
Or it's a UFO.
2 of them, okay? Or X marks the spot.
Right.
So. This next one is a nice mainframe 6-point. It's got no brow tines.
Okay.
Deer tend to run with or without. We notice a few 6s. They come in. It'll be just like this one. It'll be no brow tines, a nice 6-point. So that's going to be a nice one.
Okay.
He might or might not make it.
That one looks like it has brow tines.
Yeah, this one's got brow tines. This one I don't know if it's the same one as in the first pick. It's another 8-point. I don't know if this is the same deer or not, so I got to look into that a little bit more. There was one picture I missed that there was another 8-point. It had longer tines. You could definitely tell it was a different buck. It was a more tighter rack, but it was still an 8-point.
Gotcha.
So 3 8-points look to be on the list, and hopefully we'll have some rut going on and drawing some other bucks.
Well, it looks like there's some rutting and rooting and tumbling going on here.
All right, so this camera here, I got it pointed at a mineral site, which we're allowed to use in the UP. Mm-hmm. Typically how I set it up is I find a stump, pour the minerals on it. When I set the camera, I'll pour a corn around it and add minerals.
Gotcha.
Mr. Bear here, he came in pretty quick after we set this up initially. There's actually, before this, there's a few pics of him where he's just laying down, eating. Face in the corn, face in the mineral.
Stuff in his face.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't going anywhere, and he was quite happy just to lay there. But on this particular night, he came in, and he kind of hung around there, a few picks, and all of a sudden you get this pick here. And then all of a sudden, the next pick, it took me a minute, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened?
So this is the same.
Same
camera.
Yep, same camera. One pick later.
They don't line up.
No, they don't line up. They actually, I noticed this when I came to this camera and I looked at it and I said, well, that's not facing the right way. So it looks like Mr. Bear got a little interested in the camera and decided to turn it 90 degrees.
He swatted it.
Which, you know what? It wasn't a bad idea by the bear because it helped me see other deer that were coming in.
Right.
So it was all right.
Okay.
As long as he didn't knock it off the tree, I was quite happy. That was one of the issues that I had last year when I put up a feeder, is he climbed the tree and got to the feeder. So, but this year he just didn't like the camera pointed at him, I guess, and he just turned it 90 degrees. So it was one of those things. You just
place is a mess.
I know, right?
I gotta clean it up.
You gotta clean up the office. So that's kind of what we looked at. We reset the cameras. I'll be going up for the first weekend in October. So we'll pull the cameras right when we get up there, see if anything's changed. The spots are kind of set, and we're ready to go. But looking forward to it. I did put out a couple mock scrapes using the buck baits. So I hope to, and I put cameras over them on video, so I hope to have some good reply back.
So you left a party invitation at the scrape?
I left a party invitation and
I left my calling card down there.
And there was their deer watching me make them, which was kind of funny. So, but yeah, excited. 2 weeks. 2 weeks and it'll be 2 weeks from Friday probably.
Okay. That
I'll be up there. Probably Saturday morning I'll start. But yeah, excited. Deer on camera is always good to see.
It's just around the corner.
It is. So I noticed one of the bucks taken by a youth was still in velvet, and another buck taken by a veteran was
here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, pretty wild.
That's different.
Yeah. So it's time, folks.
It is time, man. We're right on top of it. It ain't gonna be long, And it felt so good to get back down and get outside this weekend. It rejuvenated me.
Well, that's the thing. Just getting out in the outdoors, and especially when it's got that cool crispness to it, it's like, all right, it's time.
It was cool down in Indiana yesterday morning till about 11 o'clock, and then it got real hot.
Oh, okay. How hot did it get down there?
Mid 80s, I think. It was pretty sweltering.
Pretty sweltering. So. Nice. But yeah, so we're ready to go, ready to rock up in the UP. You went to Indiana. How's that looking?
Well, this is our food plot.
looks.
That's the bean field, man. I tell you what,
beans as far as you can see.
Yeah, the beans have really taken off. When was I down last? About a month ago, I think. I don't know, but I tell you what, man, the beans have really taken off. Let's see if I can. Yeah, right here's a picture of me standing next to them. I mean, it's almost belt high. It's mid thigh.
There's some tall beans.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tall right there. So that was pretty cool.
Beans like their warm nights, don't they?
Evidently. But you know what else likes beans is the deer. And you think this time of year that the deer are starting to get off the beans, because the leaves are not as palatable.
Right.
They start getting a little bit bitter. But so far, they really haven't stopped.
Well, they look pretty green to me. So
they were still hitting the beans, not quite as hard, but I want to take some pictures, just show a little bit of the browse on the beans.
And they were browsing, huh?
Yeah,
it was a smorgasbord.
Yeah, they're still hitting them pretty regular. So that to me was a little bit surprising, I guess. But I tell you what, we're rumping up here on our first break. Why don't we go ahead and take our first break and come back, and we'll kind of get into doing some mock scrapes down there, because that's what I went down for.
Absolutely.
So I tell you what, we'll step outside real quick, and we come back. We'll continue the conversation. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at PSEarchery.com.
Welcome back, second segment of the show.
Wayne Sitton joins.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on? Glad to see that you're checking us out tonight. Glad you're back up and at 'em.
Right.
All right. So
you're down there checking out the beans. We were just talking in the break that, well, they haven't stopped eating the corn either.
Yeah. I didn't take any pictures of the corn. I should have. But, they're still on the beans down there. So.
And Ricky the raccoon was enjoying it as well.
Yeah, the raccoons are tearing it up down there. So, actually, we met with the property owner, and they said they would like for us to control the population of raccoons.
I can imagine there's all that food for them there.
Yeah, well, a deer will walk up and they'll eat the ear of corn right off the stalk, but a coon will take and pull the whole stalk down.
Yeah, they'll pull it down until it breaks.
And it looks like somebody went through and just trashed their room.
Right, exactly. So you sit there and you look at that and you go, yeah, you need to take care of them.
But I went down, hung out with David. There's Big Dave. Got our tools and got everything ready. And as you know, we've been doing some work with buck baits here, and so we took some product down to do some mock scrapes.
Absolutely, we got our mock scrapes. I started mine over Labor Day. You started them yesterday.
Yeah, we got down and got dirty, and the thing that kind of surprised me, well, it didn't really surprise me, but when we got down there, or I got down there, the ground is so hard and baked and dry because they've had no rain.
Oh, is it really?
Everything is just dried right up. The creek that runs by, the property, on the edge of the property, it's pretty much gone.
Really?
Yeah, the Oxbow backwater creek is completely dry.
So would you consider they're in a drought? Would you consider it's just a dry time of the year?
They need some rain.
They need some rain.
They need some rain. So we're trying to scratch in some scrapes. You know, we had some issues with it. I mean, it was hard. We actually took a little shovel that had some teeth on the end of it, so we could actually dig a little bit and turn just a little bit of soil.
Ground like cement?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, and actually to scrape it out, it was pretty tough just to get some dirt and dust up.
Well, I hope whenever you're down there, you don't get the rain part.
That's what I worry about. So, but you know, they sent us some earth scent and human odor blocker.
Yep.
Odor breaker. So I sprayed down my boots. I didn't take my hunting boots down. It was so doggone hot. And I also put on my Scent-Lok rain pants. This is the first time I've wore these out in the field. Okay. And I bought these for early season. And I thought, you know, it's going to be hot. We're going to be in the woods. I need something that's going to hold down some scent, but also I want to see how breathable these things really are.
Yeah, exactly.
They work great.
Did they?
Yeah, I wasn't busting a sweat. They kept me comfortable. So I was very pleased at the fact that they work so well.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
So did a little bit of spraying down, got my boots all ready to go, so we get in the field and we went at it.
And I see you got your Easy Cut backpack over your shoulder.
Well, right here, this is getting ready for the first scrape, and we want to put a camera up. And these are the new Cuddyback cameras that we put up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're still having some issues getting them connected. Not connected to each other, but getting them connected to the service to actually send us the photos.
Okay. Is that because of location you know of, or you don't know?
Don't know how to hook it up. We got the instructions, and either we're really missing something or something's not right. So
okay.
I'm not happy, put it that way.
Sounds like you need to make a call to the...
Well, that's already been done, and we're still having issues.
Oh.
So,
ouch.
Just going to say that's where that's at. But, we did some trimming. I made sure and took the sling pack with me, and we had to trim out around the trees so we could get our cameras up and got our scrapes ready. So, after we did the first scrape, and I didn't shoot any pictures of the first scrape because I was running video at that time, but you have actually, I think you've heard me talk a little bit about the stinging nettles.
Yes, a little bit.
So this is where we set the second scrape up. And there they are. And all their glory. And actually, these were cut down quite a bit because usually they're about arm height.
Well, I think when you went up there in July, you said they were pretty high.
Yeah, they're almost armpit high.
These aren't.
No. David come through. This is a trail leading in. I don't know if you can see, but my stand is I'm facing my stand as I'm walking in there.
Oh, okay.
So, and I need to do a little bit of trimming there to get where I could actually see. Now, if in this photo here, I'm reaching up, cutting a limb so I can see to shoot on a runway. But if you look, you can see the opening. That opening right there is where, on that edge, is where we put the second scrape site. So we here's a couple. Let me see. I'm trying to find these pictures here. I'm kind of skipping around. There I am, cutting another limb down.
Aren't those nice for when you got to reach up?
Yeah,
and
I love them.
Wait, I can extend the handle.
Now, if you look at that tree that's shining right over top of my head there, that's where my stand's at. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but that's where it's at. And a little more thick stuff here we're cutting out of the way.
It looks pretty thick in there.
It is, but we're just trimming up the one. But right here's where we put the scrape up. So right on the field edge, got a nice overhanging branch right there off of a walnut tree. So it'd be a good spot for a looking branch.
Looks like a pretty good invitation.
That's a CRP field there, a huge bedding area.
Oh yeah, obviously when you got grass that high, that you could literally lay down in there and walk right by something and not even know.
Well, there's spots in there on the other end that is actually almost head high.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could lay in there, especially for a deer when they lay in their wind.
Putting their back to the wind, and actually they've on the right side of this picture along that tree line. There's a good swath of it that's kind of beat down a little bit. It's not quite as thick, and they'll lay right up against that edge of the thick stuff, thick, tall cover.
Okay.
That's where the bedding, they're right in there, right up against that thick stuff.
Right. So just using that thickness of the weeds for them. So,
yeah, we scratched it out there. You can kind of see the dirt. And then, actually, I jumped. No, I guess I didn't. The one thing I want to talk about real quick that we did on three of these is and I don't have the product here with me in front of me because I left it down there for David to use. But the spray, the stuff I sprayed my boots with, the earth scent, an odor blocker,
the neutralizer.
Yes. After we scratched up the dirt, because it was so dry and so hard, David and I got to talk, and I was like, well, what if we put this down? And it's going to create a curiosity of earth that has been turned over. You know how fresh dirt smells.
Oh, right. I get what you're saying.
So we thought we'll scratch out the area, get it all clean, and then we'll spray that. We misted it on there until we just got just a light sheen, and then we waited and let it dry. And once it dried, then we went in and we used our scrape enhancer on top of it. And talking with the company, they said that, as long as you let that dry, once it's on the soil, let it dry, and then spray that on top of it, it's not going to kill this scent.
Okay. So the most important thing is letting it dry.
Yeah, don't put this down first.
And then spray neutralizer because it does exactly that.
Right. So if you use this on top of it after it's dried, no problem.
Oh, okay. I see.
Cool. Yeah, we did that on 3 of them. So we're trying to create another curiosity. It's like, there's some moisture. You smell fresh dirt. Water.
Yeah. Why is it here? Why is it fresh? Why is it? What's so curious about it that you? And deer, they're curious animals. They will come and look.
And then I left the calling card.
Right. Exactly. So hopefully, you put the video cameras over those.
Yeah.
And you switch them on
3
the
of
video.
Yep. Turn to the video. I'm running about a minute of video. It's a lot of video. We put bigger cards in the cameras. But that way we're going to see the interaction and hopefully get some good video of what they're doing in these scrapes.
Right, exactly. And, some people say, well, it's early. Can you do too many scrapes?
Can you do too many?
Yeah, that's a question posed by my brother.
We didn't put them in close proximity to each other. The first one and the second one, let's see, maybe throw this back up here. That's the second one there. And you could see that CRP field. Let me go back to that overview picture and kind of explain that as we're going along here. I got too many pictures.
Technically you really could if you were to put them like all over the place, but
yeah, like okay, so you kind of see how that picture comes to kind of a point down there at the end. It just to probably the left third. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like one continuous line, but the right side of the picture is the right side of the field. The left side is the left side of the field. Right. It comes down to a point kind of in the middle there, or just almost the middle.
Right.
And the first scrape we put is on the left side down at that far end. It's about 300 yards.
Okay, so 300 yards to the second scrape. Technically, really. And when they get heavy into the rut, what's to say they don't make more scrapes anyways?
They could, yeah. But that's the thing is we didn't want to put a bunch of them and put them real close together.
Right, exactly.
The third one that we did is along that right side that you see in the picture there. We put it along the right side about halfway between these two. And this is it here, right up along the wood line there, the trail leading down through there, right up against the wood edge.
Like you said, you got 3 scrapes in this field, and the curiosity, and once you get them going, might get them moving in your advantage.
Well, and that's it. We got cameras out. We want to take inventory. We can age class them. We can also look at direction of travel because you can see, the hooves in there and which direction they came from, what direction they're going. So there's lots of things we can tell about this.
Question from Charles Byram. Mm-hmm. Did you use your own urination in any of the scrapes?
No, I did not.
There you go.
I know people who do.
Absolutely. Yep.
But no, we strictly stuck with the buckbait scrape enhancer. And here, as you can see, we're misting the scrape with the earth.
Right, exactly. So we followed that recipe.
And somebody had mentioned earlier that, and I don't think it was Charles. Maybe it was Charles. Somebody commented on there that they had never seen that much dirt turned over. And I said, it
was Charles. Yes.
There's not a lot of dirt turned over in these. I mean, they look like it, but we had to scratch and scratch and scratch and scratch to get any dirt at all to a powder form to where we could actually make it look like something's been done there.
And I want to say that every deer is different how they make a scrape. Some deer will make a scrape literally 24 inches in diameter and really scrape it out.
Right.
And then there's others that might not be as big and might not be as clean.
Right.
So, you're just a different deer.
I guess.
Right?
So, here's misting down a little bit of the cover scent here. This is video. I turned the audio down on it just so we can talk over top of it. But you can see there, I'm just putting a light mist over top of it. And this is our 4th scrape. And this is in the middle of in a wood lot, quite a distance from the other ones here. It's not in the same proximity, but there's multiple runways coming in together here, and these things look like cattle paths. I mean,
really?
There's a lot of travel through here. So we're really excited about this scrape, hoping that we actually get some good video off of it, because we got a camera on this one as well.
Exactly.
So, and then there I'm spraying. Now, if you look at the atomization of that spray.
Oh, yeah, when it comes out. Isn't that nice?
You know, that's the thing that really surprised me about how much of the product. We did 6 scrapes, and when we looked at the bottle, there's maybe a quarter of the bottle was used.
And you're like, what's going on?
And that's just because you're not shooting out a stream. You're not dumping it in. It's atomizing it. And we're just squirting it in one spot, making about a 2 to 3 inch circle, and having a good sheen on top of the dirt where it actually shows. So
and you know what? In talking with Buck Bates when we were with him at Woods and Water, he did mention that about the sprayer itself. Mm-hmm. He says they're an expensive part of the bottle, mm-hmm. but because he's spending the money, you're getting that effect. You're
getting the most bang for your buck. No pun intended.
Right.
Out of the product, it's not being wasted.
Exactly. So exactly.
But yeah, it was a learning experience for me. You know, I learned a lot just listening to David. David took the lead on a lot of these, and after I watched him, then I went in and built some myself. So
he mentored you.
Yeah. So no, it was a good time. You know, I learned a lot just from watching him, and I had a lot of questions. And actually, I called and talked with the company today, and we spent about 45 minutes just going over some things. So I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to getting the video back. That's the key, I guess.
Yeah, that's my hope too. I set up my scrapes to put the cameras on video, and I'm hoping that in turn I get it. So it'll be exciting to know the next time around what we all pull off the cards.
There's a good shot right there of the circle. Like as soon as I got done spraying it, I took a photo, so you can see the dots.
Yep,
and that's kind of the way we did them.
There you go. So I think it's awesome. I think it's a good. Let's get them interested and get them moving and get some mature bucks on the curiosity and get them moving to say, hey, what's going on in my area?
Right. The one thing that we didn't put out just yet, because they also have a Tarsal Gland lure. We didn't put that out. David wants to wait up closer to season, but the way he wants to use it is take a stick, and he cuts a stick, 1.5 feet, 2 foot long.
Okay.
And we didn't have any gloves with us either. That was the other thing. He wanted to, have scent control over top of this because the way he does it. And then he'll trim it down the end and stick it in the ground. Might be a little hard right now the way the ground is.
I was gonna say, yeah, you might have an issue.
So
with that.
he might have to go out with a drill actually and drill a hole.
Oh yeah, there you go, a drill.
Yeah.
And then drop the stick in the.
But he wants to take that and then he wants to spray that stick with the tarsal.
Okay, kind of like to represent a deer rubbing up on it.
Yeah, well, it gets it close to the ground, but not on the ground. But it gets it close to the ground where a deer's leg is
nice,
about the right height.
Nice.
So let me put a little bit of this in your coffee.
No. So that sounds like it sounds like I'm ready. You're ready. It's one of those things. You just, and working with this company and spending that weekend with them, it's been great. And getting these set, I hope we get our bang for our buck.
Yeah, right?
Right?
No pun intended, right?
No pun intended.
So, no, this is all brand new to me. I mean, I've wanted to do this before, and I've never taken the extra time to get out and do these. But actually, I'm hoping to get up to our place in Michigan, up in northern Michigan, and I'd like to put a couple out there. I'm going to try something a little bit different, and we're going to see what happens.
Well, that's it. Try, I did them one way this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how they work, and then think about it, and then maybe next year maybe I'll change it up, or if it worked, then okay.
Right.
But like you said, change it up.
Yeah.
See what works. Because whether you're in the UP, Indiana, down in Texas,
out west, wherever,
it's all different.
Yeah.
It's not a recipe that says, oh, do this, this, and this.
Right.
So
and that's what's nice about it, is everybody gets a chance to do their own thing, put their own twist to it.
Yep, absolutely.
So, well, speaking of twists, why don't we twist into a break here?
Yeah, let's twist in that, and we'll get a hold of Ken and get him on and hear how he's doing.
All right, so we're going to step outside, take our second break. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market, has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back to the third segment of the show. We've made our connection with none other than Ken Scicluna down in southern Michigan. So, Ken, I've seen a few photos. You started putting a few rod and reels away, getting the bow out. First off, how's the new bow treating you? The new bow is, man, I'm just blown away what it's like to shoot modern technology. I absolutely love the PSE Decree. It's been really, really awesome. I've been shooting almost every night. I've got it dialed in, and I cannot wait to get it in the deer woods and shoot with it. It's a great shooting, smooth. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with it. Okay, so what were you shooting before? It was 1993 or 94 Kodiak, I think it was. I'm not sure. It was an old compound bow that I bought at a garage sale for like $50. My bow had gotten stolen one year, and I needed a bow, and I just happened to find that. And the only reason I know it's from the early 90s is because engraved on it was somebody had shot a 6-point and engraved 6.94. And so I know it's at least from 1994, but I think it might be older than that.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, right off the bat, we got a question from Charles. It says, did Ken get a new platform yet, or is he still using the Bullman ring?
I am still using the Bullman ring of steps. I really want to get the tethered Predator platform or the other platform that's out there right now. I'm saving up for it. I see myself getting a platform before the season is over. But what I'm going to do, and actually I have my ring of steps right here. As you see, it's kind of a mess. It's cumbersome. I don't really like using it. I'm going to go down to probably about 2 steps this year and get rid of the other 4 because, honestly, I never use them, and it's just more noise and things like that. But, yeah, right off the bat, I'll be using the ring of steps, but I definitely want to get a platform, that's for sure.
And for those of you who don't know what they're talking about tree saddles.
Yes, saddle hunting.
So, yeah, you and actually Charles out in Iowa, you guys are the tree saddle variety. And
yes,
I've contemplated. I've sat in one, and it's something that really intrigues me. It's just something I haven't made that step yet.
Right.
I got too many irons in the fire right now to worry about that. So
exactly.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So you've been out scouting. What do you got for us on your update? I talked about the UP in the first segment. Mike talked about Indiana in the second segment, and you got the third segment.
Yep. So, of course, I have deer camp in the Upper Peninsula, western end, Ontonagon, Mass City area. Haven't been up there. I won't be there until deer camp, so I'm just going to wing it for gun season up there, which is fine. No big deal there. But I just got access, just signed paperwork on a lease here, and actually it's in an awesome area. It's North Ann Arbor farmland. And if anyone knows anything about the Michigan deer herd, they got a real problem with deer in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
And so I'm I'm just north of all that, and there are just so many deer out there. You drive around that farm, and it's a very high deer density area, and I'm really excited. I spent yesterday and today out there scouting, getting trees ready. I put a camera out today. So it looks really good. I mean, all my years of hunting have basically been on public ground down here or small tracts of private land with 4 or 5 other guys. I've never really even laid eyes on property this good, and they didn't even farm it because of the wet spring. Mm-hmm. But it's still absolutely covered up with deer. Some of the runways look like mountain bike trails.
Well, we got some of the. We're showing some of the pictures as you talk, and some of the fields. Yeah. And some of the trails that we see that they look like they're pretty good trails that they're still walking along, and I'm sure in those fields in the evenings or in the mornings you're seeing a lot of deer out in those fields.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna throw the picture up as a trail. You talk about trail cam, putting your camera up. You got a trail camera. For those of you who are looking at the photo, the 4 trees there. It's in that second one to the left there, and you got that pretty high off the ground. Is this you typically put your cameras up high and point them downward?
Yeah, so hunting public ground in Michigan has taught me some lessons the hard way. I do that for one, and actually, if someone wanted to steal that one, they could. But normally, I will use my saddle and a stick since I've had the saddle, and I'll actually put my trail cameras up high and angle them down. And that's actually angled down on there's a ditch, an old drainage ditch, and there's a great crossing right there. And I thought that, obviously we can't use mineral or anything down here. I thought, man, it'd be a good spot to maybe get some inventory going on what's on the farm. And I angled it down because, A, to try to deter theft and maybe somebody wouldn't see it. And then also, too, I can't tell you how many times I've had a big buck on trail camera looking right at my trail camera, and you never see that buck again. You could tell they were just code red alert looking at that camera. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes, especially here in southern Michigan, where it's hard to get away with stuff, I feel like sometimes them cameras can hurt you down here if you're not careful. That's just my opinion, but I like, if I can put them up high and angle them down, I'd much rather do it that way.
Are you going to leave your camera out all year?
Not on that property, because I don't know if I'll have, I do that though.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll have that property next year, but on some other properties where I know I'll have access for quite a while, yeah, I do that. It's pretty cool to go back and look at the winter pictures.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that section of woods right there, and I got another one up there. It reminds me kind of where I'm hunting down in Indiana. The woods look very similar.
It's really cool. It's a 70-acre farm. It's all overgrown meadow in the fields, and there's all kinds of good bedding. There's cattail marshes, and then the back part of the property is this open hardwoods that's flooded, mm-hmm. and you can still walk through it. It's just a foot or two deep, and it's real open and flooded. And every time I've been on that property, it's been in the middle of the day, and I'm seeing tents. I think they're bedding back in there somewhere, and so I got a tree prepped for back there. I'm covering both back corners, and you can see for 100, 200 yards in there. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it's it looks wet. It has that look to it.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I got a picture of a deer rub up. You seen lots of deer rubs?
No, I haven't seen too much. That was the best one I've seen, and obviously they're not it's not rut related. I think it's just rubbing the velvet off.
Yeah.
But I found that one right on the side of a trail, right by that ditch crossing where I got that trail camera. But I am seeing just all kinds of very active sign, just tracks, big tracks, little tracks. I probably kicked up 20, 25 deer over the weekend. This place is absolutely crawling with deer, and I could not be more excited. I just can't believe I'm actually going to be hunting it. I can't even believe it yet.
No, that's cool. I can hear the excitement in your voice. It's
it's unreal.
When you get an opportunity to do something special like that, it gets you fired up. I know the first time I stepped foot down south on the place we've got down there, I was jacked. So
yeah,
it sounds kind of the same thing for you. Are you going to do anything with scrapes? Danny and I talked about putting scrapes out. Is that something you're planning on doing, or you just trying to get in hunting mode right now?
Well, no, I'm going to do it. I would have liked to have done it already. But like I said, life's been getting the best of me here the past few weeks, but things are starting to slow down, and I'm not going to go back out there and mess around it. I want to just leave it sit, all my properties, but I think I'm going to come prepared opening day when I hunt, and I am going to get some mock scrapes going, and especially try to position them so I can get a good shot if one does come up to it. I haven't done much with mock scrapes, honestly. This will be my first year. I think I might have did one in the UP a few years back, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So I need to get my hands on some buck baits stuff, and I'm going to give it a whirl. And I'm definitely going to. I got 3 extra cameras laying around, so I want to get a couple going at the beginning of October and put some cameras on them.
Well, yeah. I know a guy that's got some buck baits.
Hey, what's the biggest difference that you see from your UP area that you hunt to this down here? Is it the agricultural? Are you hunting big woods up north?
Yeah, so we're number one, deer density for sure. That's the obvious one, right? But yeah, the terrain I hunt in the western UP, it doesn't even, unless you're up there, words can't do it justice where I'm at. You don't even really feel like you're in Michigan, to be honest. it's kind of mountainous terrain. It's very for Michigan. It's mountainous terrain. It's a lot of jagged rocks, cliffs, big woods too. A lot of real deep, dark, scary looking ravines. I mean, it's very, very tough terrain. It's a lot of wet red clay. So if it's very tough walking down on the bottomlands and everything's a struggle. Like down here, you have all them thorns and pickers to deal with. Well, up there, it's not so. You don't have to deal with any of that, but the terrain. I mean, that's why a big reason, besides health reasons, I do cardio is just so I could survive a week up there. It's very tough terrain up there in Western UP. Very tough.
Well, it's your property downstate. How close are you to ag, big ag? Do you have ag around you?
Yeah. So the lease is the lease. Even though that didn't get farmed because of the wet spring, everything else around it did. It's almost all soybeans, which are starting to turn yellow from my understanding, the deer kind of back off them until they dry out in December. But it's totally surrounded by soybeans. I mean, 360 all over the place.
Gotcha.
And I think it is. And I think my farm is like the main bedding area for around there because the farm I'm on is very, very thick. And there's some cattail marshes, and there's some good acorns around. I noticed a lot of hickory nuts, a lot of acorns, so they've got food in there. So, but yeah, it's Washtenaw County farmland at its finest.
You gonna be out there opening day?
Yes, I actually just got approved. I took October 1st off. I also took October 28th off because that's a day that works out for me, and I will be out there every chance I get on the weekends. That's for sure.
Okay, so time-wise, from your door to the property is how far?
He may not want to tell that.
Well, no, just
yeah, no, that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. I'm very spoiled. I have a 37-acre piece, a 10-acre piece, and now this 70-acre lease, and they're all about the same distance from my door. And you're talking 10 minutes or less from all three of these where I'm at.
You're spoiled.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah. I can do a lot of after work hunts before the time change. I mean, I many times I'll just come right from work and I'll have my hunting clothes in the truck and just do the best spray down I can and whatever and just I get a lot of afternoon hunts in during the week. It's nice.
All right, so we got another question in from Charles, our Iowa fan.
Charles.
Are you all going to take does when the season opens, or can you, or are y'all going after the antlers? I'll answer first because I'm an easy one.
Yeah, I know your answer.
No, I can't. We're not allowed to shoot does, so nope, I will not be.
Ken, what about you?
Yes, I absolutely will. I'm hoping to get out for early doe season. I believe it's next weekend. I could be wrong on that. I'm going to try to get out for early doe and knock one down. And I always have a public land doe tag and a private land doe tag in my pocket at all times. And it doesn't matter what time of the year, I will shoot a doe if I need it, if I want one.
Yeah, same for me, yes. It doesn't matter if it's down in Indy or up here. Either way, opportunity, I'm taking it. It's
there you go.
But I'm going to be very choosy on the bucks that I target. I mean,
yeah.
I was showing Danny some photos from down in Indy, and it's night and day. But the small bucks down there we're going to let walk. If they were up at our place up here in Michigan, there's no way they'd be taking another step. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. It's a different ball game.
It's a whole different ball game, but yeah, I'm going after both.
And like for Ken, as soon as he starts getting pictures back of his cameras, he's going to start to see that I've got this in the area, or I've got that. So he might become, as far as your
might become picky too.
Might become very picky, right?
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that with the Indiana property, and same thing with my property. It's these cameras and getting them out there early enough to start taking this inventory. It's nice. It's I'm not going to lie. The technology is awesome.
Well, there's such a drastic. You talk about the from down from another state to Michigan, but even from where I'm at in northern Michigan, northern lower to the UP, expectations of what's realistic for bucks to be able to harvest.
Right.
It's different for me and you, Danny.
Absolutely.
Just simply of what you've got available.
I think that's the key statement right there is what's realistic for your area, you know, and time will tell, you know, like Danny said, those cameras will help you figure that out. And, you know, it's tough for me. I definitely, without a doubt, if I could hit a button right now and make APRs statewide, I would do it. But here's the other thing. For me, I haven't shot a lot of bucks in my time. I've never shot a big buck. I've never even seen that many big bucks. I've been hunting over bait for 17 years. I just got rid of bait last year, and I'll be honest, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, yes, I want APRs, but I still, I think I still enjoy shooting a 1.5 year old. I still want to do that. But in my mind, I know it's better to let them go. And if I could put that restriction in place, I'd do it right now without a doubt, because I think it's the best thing for the state. But I still have, I haven't shot enough deer yet where, I feel like I'm just not at that stage yet where I'm passing on 3-year-olds for a 4-year-old. Like, right now, I think I will not shoot a 1.5 year old deer. My goal for this year is to shoot a 2.5-year-old.
There you go. You know, that's
at least what I think. That's my goal. You know, which will most likely be 8 point. But it's tough because I do have an itchy trigger finger. I like shooting deer, and it's going to be very hard for me. Like, if a nice basket rack 6-point comes in, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to want to shoot that thing. But I know where I'm at. I don't want to burn it. I don't think it'd be smart to burn tag on that thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
especially
the other part of that, right?
3 months.
Yep. You got 3 months of hunting, and if you, like I said, you start getting a rate of return on your inventory, and you start seeing, those get nope, that's passing, because you never know what the next one's going to be, right?
Well, that's how I wound up passing on my first 2.5 year old buck, mainframe 8, and it was one of the biggest deer that I had seen that season. And I let that thing walk, and everybody was just freaking out about it because I had video of it. And they're like, why? I said, and I showed them a trail cam photo of a 4.5 year old 10-point. And I'm like, this is why. You know, I said, because I know he's here.
Right. And you don't want to mess that up. And like you said, Ken, you go ahead and you know, you're starting to show, you know, as we always seem to get older and that, you know, you're taking that next step. But not knowing, sure, why not shoot that 6-point? If it's the first buck I see, why not, right? But the next picture on the camera shows an 8-point. He's going to be like, okay, maybe I'll hold off.
Yeah, and here's another monkey I have on my back, and maybe some guys will think I'm silly for this, but I have never shot and recovered a buck with my bow and arrow. And that's a huge, I don't know why, but I really want to get that monkey off my back. I want to say I finally got my bow buck. You know, so if I'm on public land and, you know, a nice 1.5 year old buck steps in front of me, I might take it.
Right.
You know, just to get that over with and move up and, you know, just move on in my hunting career. Just for a mental thing, I might do it. I haven't made up my mind out to see it in the moment because I ain't going to hunt a lot of public. I'm not going to burn out that lease.
Right.
You know, I don't want to overhunt that lease and ruin it. So I've got a lot of other options on public, and so that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, you play the wind, you know, scent control, play everything right, and stack the odds in your favor, especially on something like that. So
yeah, I heard you guys talking about scent control, and I love scent control, and I know some guys don't do it; they just strictly play the wind. Some guys are all about the scent control. I'm like, why can't we just do both?
Right,
you know,
right. And some guys,
if it's not going to hurt you, why not do it?
Right, and some guys, like you said, sometimes they play the spot.
Right.
They won't hunt a spot till
a certain time of the year.
A certain time of the year, and that's
everything.
Yep. They leave it totally alone. They won't go there. I'm just going to pick a date. I don't go in there till Halloween.
Yeah.
And
cool. Exactly. Or some guys they'll wait. They'll be really picky. They'll say, you know, it's got to be a cold front. I want a rising.
Oh yeah.
I want a rising moon at 4:30 in the air. I want an afternoon rising moon or a setting moon at a certain time, and the wind, and they won't hunt it until all those stars align.
Yep.
And those guys are usually pretty successful.
Right.
Well, my brother has a message for you, Ken. It's called join the club. He hasn't shot a buck with his bow yet either.
Yeah, I've shot a lot of bucks. I just haven't. I'm not proud, but I've probably 3 or 4 that I have not recovered, and it makes me sick still to this day. And I need to get that done because the bucks I've shot have been with a shotgun.
Well, I got a question for you that I want to save because we run over here.
Okay.
We got about 7-8 minutes left in the show, but I want to throw it to a break real quick, come back, and I'm going to ask you this. We're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at PSEarchery.com.
Welcome back, fourth segment of the show. And before we went to break, I said I had a question for you. And we were talking about, shooting a buck with your bow, getting the monkey off your back and all that. The question is, when you're in the stand and you see deer, like maybe it's a doe, maybe it's a small, like a spike horn or a fork horn, and you know you're going to let it walk, do you still draw on that deer to get that maybe anxiety out and get used to drawing on a deer and practice that draw to where you're not getting busted? So when the time comes, you've got it down? Or is that something you've not done?
No, I have done that. I always make sure that my finger is behind my trigger on the release.
Right.
I have done that, and I'm very careful to make sure that my finger is behind the trigger. I want to make that perfectly clear. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have, especially on because I'm not ever going to shoot a yearling, and but I like to do that with the dumb yearlings who, even if they do bust you, sometimes they still stay.
Right.
And I've done that many times, absolutely, because as soon as I know I'm not going to shoot a deer, my heart stops pounding and I calm right down. Mm-hmm. And that's my biggest thing is calming down before the shot, and that I have done that many times.
I think that I don't do that. I just let things once I realize that
that's it.
It's not a shooter. Mm-hmm. It's like okay, I'm not going to shoot. But what I start to do is I start to pay attention as to what's going on and what he's doing or he and she are doing, and I start to see how things play out. And Charles says he uses scent control, the wind, the spot, the moon. He plays it all.
Right.
Well, why not? Why not stack? If you're playing cards with somebody, why not stack all the cards in your favor? You know what I'm saying? Right. Whatever game you're playing, it doesn't matter what it is, but you're going to take every advantage you've got. It's like, oh, no, I don't need that advantage.
Right.
I mean, I will say people who use longbows and recurves versus compound, I mean, they're giving up that advantage. But you know what I'm saying? When you've got certain things that you can do, you take those advantages and make the best shot you can.
Yeah, and everyone's different. There are some guys that I think that like doing it. I mean, you take, I hate to name drop here, but you take a guy like Dan Infalt, who is a big buck serial killer. Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, he'll hunt in blue jeans and a shirt. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything, and the guy has got a barn wall full of huge bucks. And then you got Eberhardt, who does everything scent control. So I think it's just do whatever works for you. Everyone's different, and like you said, you keep stacking them odds in your favor. Eventually, it's going to pay off, and that's how I feel.
I totally agree with you, and that's why I like using the cameras, scent control, everything. Unfortunately, like I'll have a week in the UP. Okay, that's my week I picked. Now, whatever weather I'm going to be dealt, I got to play that. That's up to me. And I guarantee you, it's gonna swing from sunny to rain. Maybe to snow. But it's like it is what it is for the week.
Well, that's what David told me. He said, bring every stitch of clothes that you got, warm, medium, and cold weather gear. He said, because in October in Indiana, it can be a blizzard or it can be 90. So,
right.
It just depends on.
And Ken hunted the UP, so he knows how that works on November 15th. You can either be zero or in shorts.
Right.
Yeah, and up there, man. I mean, nothing beats a heater and a blind. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really expect that you're going to get this done this year. I feel it, and I can't wait to hear the story. But
I can't wait for the phone call.
Right. But when you do, man, and you get ready to pull back, just take that deep breath and steady your nerves, and everybody knows what that's from.
Breathe deep. Aim small, miss small.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Just look at the spot, man. Don't look at the antlers.
Yeah.
Once you know it's done deal, just look at the spot, execute the shot.
Yep.
And keep practicing.
Yep, I practice. I have a shot process that I run through that's been working for me, at least during target. I'm yet to try it on a deer, but I have a shot process that I go through, and hopefully I can just remember to do it when at the moment of truth.
If you practice it enough, it'll come natural.
It always does.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So anything else going on with you that we need to know about? Is everything pretty well? Fishing's done?
Fishing's pretty much done. I'm definitely going to get out one more time. I've got these other, I just got access to 3, and it's a coincidence that they're all 10-acre pieces. I haven't even looked at them yet. I'm hoping to get out and look at them next weekend. But at this point, it's like you can't hunt them all. I work a lot. I've got a kid, a family. So it's like, even if you can't only hunt so many of these spots, so
right.
I can't, it's a good problem to have. But I'm just pumped up, man. This is a very special time of year, and just like everyone else, I'm geeked beyond belief.
It's coming fast, man. It's
I'm
going to be
ready
here before we know it, and all of a sudden it's going to be Christmas, and we're going to be talking about what we did this last season. So,
I know. Looking ahead to next year,
Hopefully, we'll be talking how we used our Rebel 6 game rubs
to prepare some meat.
Right.
I know it. We'll see. I might be in the woods now. I might be doing an early doe hunt next weekend. So we'll see what's happening there. We might be following a blood trail next weekend. Never know.
So you taking gun or you taking bow?
I'll take the gun.
What was that there? You broke up just a little bit.
Yeah. I'll use the gun. Yeah,
okay.
I'll use the gun. Just get in there, get it done. If I can drop one where it stands without tracking it all over the place, I'll do that.
There you go. Make some sausage quick.
Yeah, I don't have any hang-ups about using a gun if I can, if I can.
Right on.
I'll use a gun every time.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up the podcast portion of the show here, and then we'll hang around for a few minutes, see if anybody's on the live stream has any questions for us. But
all right.
Everybody that's out there on the podcast,
we got one quick question.
Okay, go ahead.
Charles Byram to Ken, have you caught a fish from your saddle yet?
That'd be interesting. Maybe I could put it up. Maybe I put it on the trolling motor.
Oh, he's got a challenge now,
right?
Yeah,
we could be in trouble
catching
here.
a fish from a saddle.
Right. Well, it looks like the poll it just changed again, and we're still about 2/3 of the people said they're not ready for archery season yet. So, guys and gals, get out there, get after it, get ready, because it's going to be here in 2 weeks here in Michigan. So, y'all take care. That'll do it for us this week. We'll talk to you again next week.
And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. This episode was brought to you by
PSE Archery,
Spot Shooters Archery,
Easy Cut,
Packer Max,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Scent-Lok,
Scent Blocker,
Lim Walker Game Calls,
Buck Baits,
Gut Check,
Stanislawski Release Aids,
Copper John,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Vapor Hunting Products,
and Rebel 6 Rubs.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.